Now, anybody who watches dirt racing or is a dirt racer themselves knows that this sport is extremely dangerous, and I'm going to be going over some examples and explaining why and some measures that can make it safer. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about 410 swingless sprint cars. Now, we have 410 wingless sprint cars, 410 wing sprint cars, 360 wing sprint cars, and we also have 305 wing sprint cars. But we're going to focus on 410 non-wing sprint cars today. Now, if you're new to the sport of dirt racing and you don't know what a sprint car is, sprint cars are very powerful race cars. The 410 series, which is one of the most popular series, uses a 410 cubic inch V8 engine that creates anywhere between 7 to 800 to even 900 horsepower. Now, if you want a comparison, a NASCAR Cup Series engine is 358 cubic inches and generates just about 900 horsepower, except they weigh 2 times the amount that a 410 sprint car weighs. Now, wingless 410 sprint cars usually weigh between 12 and 1,500 pounds with the driver inside, and the average NASCAR weighs 3,300 pounds. I think you can see how big of a difference that really is. Now, the first thing I'm going to be talking about that makes sprint car racing rather dangerous is their open wheelbase. As I have seen time and time again, if you are not careful with how you drive, you can very easily ramp over somebody's tires because there are no fenders in there to stop you from doing it, like this. And also staying on the topic of wheels, there is also the chance that the wheel can come off if you don't tighten it enough, or maybe if something breaks, like this one. And the next thing that we're going to be talking about is safety. Now, safety equipment is very important when it comes to racing sprint cars. Now, with sprint cars, obviously, you have roll cages now, which, believe it or not, old sprint cars back way when did not have roll cages. Those are 100% required in every single type of sprint car or even modifieds, late models, street stocks, 4 cylinders, anything like that. You must have a roll cage. And then you also have something like a Hans device. Now, if you don't know what that is, I'll pop one up on the screen right now. And basically, a Hans device is a head and neck support device. It is a critical piece of safety equipment in all types of motorsports. It's designed to reduce the risk of a head and neck injury in the event of a crash. Now, if you've seen a sprint car rollover, it is a lot of motion, a lot of jerky motion, and if you don't have a device on like this, if you have your heads trying to swing around, it will not be good and could result in injuries such as a broken neck or lacerations on your neck. Now, most people might know Hans devices like from Formula One and NASCAR, but it is making its way into a whole lot of different motorsports. And using the USAC series, which is a very big series that runs non-wing sprint cars, they require all drivers to wear Hans devices or similar head and neck restraint systems. And the next type of safety equipment I'm going to be talking about, which I'm also going to show a video on why these are very much so needed and necessary, are arm restraints. Now, arm restraints are basically what you would think they are. They consist of straps that are worn around a driver's arms and are attached to the racing suit or harness to keep them, in the event of a rollover, from flailing around and breaking your arms. They keep your arms inside the car and right by you so you don't hurt your hands or arms or shoulders or anything like that. This video I'm about to show you, he did survive. I do not include fatal crashes in this video, but this was from Greg Stevens. I hope I'm saying his last name right. This is from 1998 at Kokomo Speedway, which is a racetrack that's only about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from my home.
Wheel of the car he's named Jesus, and tonight he'll be in dire need of a prayer.
And as you saw in that video, you could see his arms out of the roll cage. With arm restraints, unless they break, that would not happen. And with that crash, he would end up breaking both of his arms. And I'm going to use USAC as another example. The reason that he did not have these on, or I'm speculating that he did not have these on, was because I'm going to use USAC as another example. Their safeties did not require these until the year 2003. Now, I said before, this crash happened in 1998, and that was 5 years before they started being required in USAC. Now, also in that crash, you saw his front wheels went up off the ground. That is not uncommon for sprint cars, as like I said, they have a lot of power and don't weigh a lot. And he hit the brakes, the car got twisted, and then it sent him rolling. I have seen that happen time and time again, which is why it takes so much skill to drive one of these race cars. And if you're wondering what type of fuel these race cars use, sprint cars typically use methanol as their fuel, which is the most common fuel in sprint car racing. And why would they use methanol? Well, methanol has a high energy output, it provides more power and higher performance at high engine speeds, such as sprint cars. And while methanol is standard for sprint cars, some tracks or series have specific regulations or fuel requirements that might allow or restrict certain types of fuel. But a big issue with methanol is if a methanol fire does occur, it can be invisible. So, if you see a sprint car roll over, it may look normal, but that sprint car could very well be on fire and you would not know. So while methanol does not catch on fire as much as, say, regular gasoline, it can be more dangerous because unlike gasoline that shows a big, bright, visible flame, methanol doesn't have that. And with these fires being possible, every driver has to wear a flame retardant suit. But I have seen videos online that not every racetrack requires drivers to wear flame retardant gloves. Now, my personal opinion, I believe that flame retardant gloves should be 100% mandatory. I've seen arguments online with drivers saying that they aren't comfortable and they're just more comfortable driving with their bare hands. But one of the biggest problems with that is if your car is on fire, the car's body is metal or aluminum, stuff like that, that gets very hot when it is on fire. So when you're trying to climb out of a race car, I don't think that you want to have your bare hands on a very hot surface. Also, if the inside of the car is on fire, it will protect your hands from being on fire. Me personally, I like my hands. I enjoy having hands, and I don't like my hands being burned. So the last part of this video, I'm going to talk about some ways that can make sprint car racing safer. Now, obviously, the first step would be making stronger and advanced roll cages, which these roll cages get stronger and more advanced every single year because we have stuff like what happened to Justin Owen, where he started rolling over and hit cage first onto the wall and would pass away from his injuries. Now, I'm not saying that a stronger roll cage would 100% prevent this, but obviously, it would make it harder for that to happen. Now, another debate online that I have seen are if tracks should have walls surrounding the entire area. As the track that I go to, the Butler Motor Speedway, only has walls on the front stretch where the grandstands are, and they have a big banked hill over the entirety of the rest of the racetrack. Now, some people prefer this because if you are running at a very high speed, such as sprint cars do, going between 90 and 150 miles per hour, going from that to a dead stop or almost a dead stop by hitting a wall can be very dangerous, and letting a car flip over the hill, while obviously more rollovers can cause more damage, it'll also give you time to steadily build your speed down until you get to zero, which could be safer. Me personally, I would prefer to not have walls fully surrounding it for you being able to build up and then slowly start digressing in speed instead of going from 100 to 0, which was one of the issues with Justin Owens. He was going close to 120 miles per hour and then went up into the fence and pretty much went from 100 miles an hour to 0, and that force was not good on your body and can cause serious injuries. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. What kind of safety measures you would add on to race cars to make them safer, and any critiques you have for my videos. I read a lot of the comments, and I'm trying to form my videos. I'm doing even more research than I have in the past. Now that my videos get more reach, I need to understand that I gotta focus and not get information wrong. So I apologize if any information is wrong in this video. I'm upping up my research. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys all in my next video.